JFD, just fair and direct.
Okay, hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to JFD Traders Tea Time with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today's the 18th of December 2020. So yep, welcome everyone. Welcome to this Friday's afternoon session where we're going to have a very quick look at the markets, a few of the charts, the usual stuff. But before we do that, as always guys, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, a few seconds for you to read the rest and we can continue. Okay, so now then, also just before we jump into the charts, quick mentioning of our JFD YouTube channel, to which you can always subscribe to in order not to miss any of our upcoming videos. And of course, our JFD Bank website and specifically our JFD research page, which we also update on a daily basis. So yeah, feel free to visit us here on jfdbank.com and click on the research tab right there on the top, guys. So now then, quick update on what's happening here with the German DAX. The index did have a nice push higher today initially, but yep, it didn't kind of really reach that 13,795 territory. Now, unless we get some sort of a boost here during the US session, I doubt that it might hit that level today. However, we still have a bit of time. Let's see, of course, where and how this is going to close in relation to this 13,795 territory, and then we'll take it from there basically for next week, because still this is going to be this will remain my target, the 13,795, and yeah, like I said, for if we do reach that area, it would be very interesting to see if we can actually overcome it and hit a new high for this year. But it might not happen this week. Maybe we could see this happening next week. So let's be very careful with that one. Now jumping into NASDAQ 100, and the index here yesterday kind of made a nice move higher. We saw this one pushing further north, creating a new all-time high for itself. Looking at the cash index right now, we can see that the price is already above yesterday's close here, and basically the current price, the cash index is sitting near the 12,780 zone, so slightly above that yesterday's close. Now, of course, if you remember, guys, yesterday basically what I was saying to you, that wait for that reversal signal, wait for it, because again, don't rush into anything yet, because we keep getting these runaway gaps here, and to be honest, they might continue happening, and we could see these opening gaps here to the upside every day, or at least for a while more. But again, be very careful with that. For now, everything's looking quite positive. I would say we're in this so-called Santa Claus rally almost. So yep. Yeah, we could see this one traveling further north. Given that we are in uncharted territories, it's quite difficult to kind of find a potential area of resistance, but you could definitely start looking at those round beautiful numbers, like for example the psychological 13,000 territory, or slightly below that, for example the 12,800 or 850 or 900. So these could be our potential targets. For now, like I said, the cash index is showing the price roughly at around 12,780. So let's see how far we can travel. How far we can travel north before we see maybe a bit of a corrective move lower. A similar story here on the S&P. It created a new all-time high yesterday, And looking at the cash index right now, we can see that the price is currently sitting near the 3,728 zone. So basically, slightly above yesterday's close. Of course, this means that we'll get a new all-time high today as well. But let's see how far this can travel to the upside as well. If by any chance it starts drifting back below this 3,712 territory marked by the high of the 9th of December, now that's where we could maybe go for a bit of a corrective move here towards this upside support line. But of course, let's be very careful on that for now. DXY, so dollar index is still struggling with the this area, the 89.96 zone. I talked about this morning, basically saying that if previously it was seen as a good potential area of support, which if gets broken could open the door towards lower areas, but now it's acting as a good area of resistance. So at the moment, I'm going to continue monitoring this. I mean, it's still quite interesting, I would say, to see if we stay below this area, below this hurdle, this 89.96. Can we get another drop lower? And to be honest, it could be a big possibility that we could. So for now, the dollar is in general on the weaker side. So yeah, at the moment, guys, be very careful with this one. At the moment, it's just one-way traffic. It's to the downside. But in order to maybe consider maybe slightly higher levels, well, at least a break of this downside line taken from the high of the 4th of November would be needed. So, yep, keep your eyes on that one, guys. Jumping into silver, silver is trying to get back to the upside here. You can see that it's kind of approaching once again, well, after kind of hitting this level again, then and overcoming it today, this 26th level. The commodity drifted back down today, but now you can see that it's getting pushed back towards this 26th level. So in a way, if we get another push here above this area, if we see the daily candle remaining above this 26 territory, then yes, of course, this gets a little bit, we get a little bit more confident with the potential kind of further up move. But if it continues to struggle to, let's say, overcome it and stay above this 26 territory, then maybe a bit of a corrective move lower here could be possible. Bitcoin, so drifting lower, and well, I mean, if you remember my analysis this morning and yesterday as well, that I said that this 23,000 territory is the one to watch. And as you can see, the reason why I was saying like this, because, well, I mean, we did get a hold up near this area, and now we're seeing the crypto drifting back down. So yes, certainly we are seeing a bit of a corrective move lower here. However, how far it can go correcting, well, we can draw here a Fibonacci from the low of the 11th of December here and capturing the yesterday's high. And we can see that, for example, the 23.6% retracement on the Fibonacci is roughly around the 22,220 220 or 230, roughly around here, and that's the 23.6% retracement on the Fibonacci, or the 38.2% would be not far from Tuesday's high. Sorry, Wednesday's high. There we go. Wednesday's high, and that's roughly around the 21,350 territory. So approximately around there. But again, guys, for now, be very careful. I would say probably stay neutral, and at the moment, just keep an eye on it and where it's going to end this week. And maybe next week we'll see another push higher here, or maybe a new all-time high for the crypto. But of course, we'll continue monitoring that 23,000 level, because for now it seems that it's an important level to keep an eye on. Now jumping into a few pairs, AUDNZD. Here, the pair continues to slowly grind higher. Today it got itself above the not to mention the 200-day EMA, but also this 100-day EMA, which kind of recently this week, or not recently, but this week, it was acting as a good area of resistance up until kind of today. So Yep, I mean, at the moment we're seeing that push, so let's see if this daily candle remains above this 100-day EMA. And my next target, as I mentioned to you previously, is this downside line taken from the high of the 18th of August, and this is where I'm gonna hold for a little bit. If we do see a test of this downside line, and then I'll take it from there. But for now, it is at an interesting spot. I would say even a tricky one, because we are trading above this short-term upside support line here, drawn from the low of the 2nd of December, but we're also below this this medium-term downside resistance line drawn from the high of the 18th of August. So basically we're a little bit in a pickle here, and we need that confirmation break through one of these lines before kind of considering the, let's say, the next directional move. USDCAD. So now if we take a look at the data that I've mentioned this morning, if you remember, I said keep an eye on the Canadian retail sales figures. So the core numbers came out lower than the forecast. But the headline numbers came out twice as better than the forecast. However, they were still below the previous reading. So basically, in a way, the numbers are not really good here, and you can see that there's a slight kind of effect in here on USD/CAD. So basically, US dollar is kind of strengthening against the Canadian dollar. You can see that the pair is pushing a little bit to the upside. However, we are still below this downside line taken from the high of the 2nd of November. So in order to aim for some higher levels, I would, as I mentioned to you previously, guys, I need to see a break of this downside line and a push above the 1.2793 territory, and then higher levels maybe could be met. But at the moment, it is how it is. We're stuck here. We're still below this downside line, although we're seeing a nice reversal from this week's lows. But yeah, we're still below this downside line. So guys, be very careful on that one. In terms of the downside, also be very careful. In order to get a little bit more excited with lower areas, well, a drop below this 1.2688 level would be required. GBPUSD. So quick update. To be honest, it's back into this whole highlighted territory, and to be honest, I'm going to leave this pair for today. I want to see where this is going to end up being, because if by any chance it gets back above this 1.3540 territory right here, which is, by the way, the highest point of December of 2019. If it remains above it, then yes, great. I mean, we could go higher next week. However, if somehow it drops further south here and it remains below the 1.3483 territory, below this level here, the highest point of September, then we could go for a bit of a larger correction to the downside. So be very careful in that one, guys. So that's why, like I said, I mean, with your GBPUSD, it's a little bit tricky, and to be honest, it's Friday, guys. I mean, let's not try to squeeze anything out of this one. I mean, if it's not doing anything clear, then probably just leave it for the next day and for the next trading day. And yep, maybe then it could do a much better move. But at the moment, it's just, like I said, it's just stuck here. So I'm just going to continue observing this one. And finally, EURUSD. So it's kind of similar story here. I mean, it failed to move above this 1.2273 territory today, but it's now drifting lower. However, it could be seen as part of a normal move to the downside, because it's a small little correction. We're still trading above this upside line drawn from the low of the 4th of November. So even if it drifts deeper here to the downside, as long as this upside line remains intact, well, I mean, we will continue targeting the upside. So for now, if you want to aim for some higher levels, wait for a pop above this 1.2273 territory, and then we could aim for that 1.23 level that I keep talking about. But if it doesn't move here, if it starts dropping somewhere below this 1.2215 territory, now that's where we could go maybe for a bit of a larger correction towards this upside line. So guys, I hope you found it useful, and thank you very much for watching and listening, guys. I really appreciate your time. This was a quick session, a quick overview of a few instruments that I looked at this week. So like I said, that'll be it for this week. I will resume on Monday, yeah, so guys, have a wonderful evening, have a wonderful weekend, and the most important, stay safe. both actually health-wise and market-wise. Yeah, I'll see you on Monday. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.